What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to talk about Premium Booster 01. We need to talk about something which has been confirmed, which is a very big deal, and something which has not been confirmed, that a lot of people are suggesting is now confirmed, which is not confirmed, and we need to have a chat about all of this as well. So let's start off with the news that Manga Rares are being reprinted in Premium Booster 01, and this is confirmed and official and most definitely happening. Now, interestingly enough, it has been, what they've gone and shown off is over on the official Twitter, they've gone and shown 3 Manga Rares. They've gone and shown Shanks, which is the one from OP01. They have gone and showed us Ace from OP02, and they've gone and shown us Soldier King from OP03. Not a coincidence, incidentally, that they've just gone and shown us kind of the first 3 sets. Nobody should be confused or surprised about that at all. As a side note, these are not the only ones. We know they're not the only ones. And the deal is really simple. If we have a bunch in Japan, and then they reveal some over here, we are getting all of them. That's just a thing. So, yes, we've got these 3 now. No, they have not confirmed the others, but as far as I'm concerned, they are as good as confirmed. We're going to be getting the other Manga Rares as well. It's just a matter of time. And then One Piece do this, Bandai do this, right? Where they have a bunch of reveals, and they like doing a couple a day. So today's reveals were Shanks 8 are going to be Sabo from OP04, and then remember OP05 actually brought us a trio of Manga Rares with your Kid, your Law, and your Luffy. The worst generation. Them 3. Yeah. So, and annoyingly, this video is actually probably going to go up shortly after the reveals come out tomorrow, which is a little bit awkward. But I'm going to be casting the Pokemon Regional Championship from Lille tomorrow. But look, they're going to reveal the other Manga Rares. They're going to be in the set. There's no way they give us some of the Manga Rares, but not the others. That makes no sense. Now, there are a couple of big questions here. One of which is, how do these compare to the original? Are they the same? The answer is no. They are not the same. They are easily distinguishable. So, yes, obviously it is going to affect the value. Because there are going to be some people out there that don't really care which of the 2 mangas it is. As long as it's one of them, they're going to be fine. And that's going to bring the value down a bit. But it's not going to destroy the value because the originals are still there. Now, if I go and show you just the scan of Shanks from OP01, you can already see that there is a fairly significant difference here, and that is the fact that there is no star on that Shanks. So, nowadays, the manga have a star above the SEC. There's no star there on the original. There is a star on the new. That alone is going to show it to be a different kind of card. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, there are other ways to tell as well. So now I have to go and get a photograph from eBay, which is a little bit, and also there's a lot of Japanese ones on eBay because they tend to be a little bit cheaper, but don't worry, here's a nice English Shanks. And you can see another difference there. The new Shanks, if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little embossed logo of the One Piece TCG that they've got on a bunch of the cards from PRB-01, which I'm pretty sure isn't actually there on the original. You can see it there. It's actually slightly, if you look at the Shanks, it's the top left-hand corner of the red nameplate at the bottom, whereas Porcus the Ace and Soldier King, you'll actually see it directly to the right of the color wheel. But it's very hard to see, especially if you're colorblind like me. But you will notice there's a little bit of a logo there, which I'm pretty sure isn't on the original. I cannot see it on this this picture I got off of eBay, and I don't remember seeing them before, and I'm pretty sure that it is different. Although again, I do need to say here that it's only up to a point. So up to and including OP-04, we didn't have these little embossed logos on the original, so the new ones will have them and they'll be very different. However, from OP-05 onwards, and you can see it on these scans, although it's very faint, they did have them. So up to OP-03, they didn't have a star last time, so that's going to be fine. And up to OP-04, well, they didn't have the logo last time, so that'll be fine. But from OP-05 onwards, it is a little bit different. The other thing that seems to be different here, and we've only got a photograph off the official site, but it seems to be they've taken the texture away. It seems to be, you can see that certain parts of the card are textured over on the original. That is not the case here with the reprint. So the point I'm making here is that the new versions of the Manga Rares are going to be very easily distinguishable from the originals. This isn't the case where the foil is ever so slightly different, and if you're an expert, you can see the difference in the foil or anything like that. If you know basically anything about these, you're going to be able to distinguish pretty easily at a glance whether it's the original or the reprint. And the deal is very simple. This will bring the value down a little bit, because, or at least it should, judging from what we've seen in other card games in the past, it should bring the value down a little bit because there is still another version of the card, and there will be people that are willing to go, well, I'd probably rather have the original, but you know what? It's so, it's cheaper to buy the new one, let's go buy the new one, and that will bring the value down a little bit. But it's not going to destroy the value, because for a lot of serious collectors, having the original from OP-01 is going to be better and more preferable. Easiest way to tell, just look for the star above the SEC. Although, do remember that as of OP-04, that star was actually present. So it's not there on the OP-01 to 3, but it is there on 4 and 5. So for the Soja King and the Shanks and the Ace, the ones I showed you in this video, they're going to be very easy to tell. For the OP-04 Sabo, you're going to be able to look for the little embossed logo, and that's going to be the big difference between them. From OP-05 onwards, the real question is, do they have a different texturing? Because if they don't have a different texture, and like I said, we've only got one photo on the Twitter and all that so far, we are not sure, I cannot stress that enough. If they've got the same texture, and the old and new both have the logo and the star, they might actually be very difficult or maybe even impossible to tell apart. So we finish off with the big question here, which is, are we going to get God Packs? Now, I've given you my prediction a long time ago, and shout out to lovely Orange Samurai D, who did share this news with Wassy called it months ago, and essentially, I've told you all along we're getting the Manga Rares. If Japan got the Manga Rares, we're getting the Manga Rares. That was no way we weren't going to get them. But Japan got them in a God Pack. Are we going to get them in a God Pack? I don't know, but I'm fairly confident the answer is going to be no. And the reason is very simple. We don't get God Packs. Pokemon TCG sets that in Japan have God Packs, we don't get them. So if we look at Crown Zenith as an example, which I know is a Pokemon set, but it makes a really good example. We had a set of 9 cards like this Pikachu that made an image. The 9 cards formed together to make an image. In Japan, you could only get these 9 cards in a God Pack. You either got a God Pack with the set of 9, or you didn't get the cards. In the West, we just got them in packs normally. And I know that the general rule in regular sets is that Japan gets God Packs with all of the alternate art leaders, and we get treasure rares. So like our OP-07 treasure rare was Law, and our OP-06 treasure rare was Nami. And I know that in regular sets, Japan gets God Packs of leaders, and we get treasure rares. This is not a regular set. We don't have treasure rares, but the absence of a treasure rare does not indicate the existence of a God Pack. And I don't know. Nobody knows, or I suppose people at Bandai know, but they've signed NDAs, they're not telling us. No one knows whether we're getting a God Pack or not, but all the evidence points to no. I'll give you one more piece of evidence. If these were only available in God packs, would they be being shown off on the official Twitter? Again, I can't say no for certain, but generally not. Japan doesn't generally tend to do that. If I remember correctly, and please correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong about this, I'm fairly sure these weren't shown off on Japanese Twitter. We were essentially waiting to see them pulled from packs. So all of this leads me to believe that we're not getting God packs. We are just going to get the Manga Rares seeded into our packs as normal. And I know that feels a bit weird, but again, they literally did that with Pokemon sets. And we know, PRB-01 itself is basically just Bandai's version of an end-of-year Pokemon set. So I'm not saying we're not getting God packs, but I'm saying that we have not seen anything to suggest we definitely are right now. There is no evidence that we are. And the safe bet is that we're not. Doesn't mean we're definitely not, but it means that it's more likely that we won't. I'm willing to be surprised. The one thing we do know is that Manga Rares will be reprinted in PRB-01, which is good news, and they will be distinguishable from the regular ones. For the OP04 Sabo, you're going to be able to look for the little embossed logo, and that's going to be the big difference between them. From OP05 onwards, the real question is, do they have a different texturing? Because if they don't have a different texture, and like I say, we've only got one photo on the Twitter and all that so far, we are not sure, I cannot stress that enough. If they've got the same texture, and the old and new both have the logo and the star, they might actually be very difficult, or maybe even impossible to tell apart. There we go. That's what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me how you feel about these Manga Rares being reprinted. Tell me if you want to see God packs or you'd rather just have them seeded in like normal. Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.